on the Lowdown, we talk about a few very exciting things coming your way this week, including a visit from the Kelowna Rockets. We'll look back at a number of assemblies that have taken place over the last little while. We'll hide another hidden object somewhere on our set. And of course, we just have to talk about that special guest that came to visit us last Friday. All of that and more coming up on the Lowdown. Hello and thank you for joining us on this edition of The Lowdown. Today is Monday, November 19th. My name is Robyn and this is my co-anchor Spencer. I've just got to say right off the top, holy dynamo, we've had a lot of assemblies in the month of November. You're absolutely right, Spencer. Don't get me wrong, they've all been so important, but boy oh boy, we're a busy school. Anyway, we've got so much more to talk about, so let's just jump into it. Right, here's what we've got coming up, boys and girls. We have to talk about tomorrow because it was going to be Break the Rules Day. Hey, that's my line. Sorry, I was just trying to get into the spirit of tomorrow and, break a rule. Oh well, before you get too into the spirit, like I was saying, Break the Rules Day has been postponed until Monday, November 26th. Sorry, I did it again. Yes, well, remember, boys and girls, there are certain rules that can be broken and others that cannot. But most importantly, while it's always important to have fun, don't forget to be respectful. Definitely. Moving on from there, we've got another hot lunch coming our way on Wednesday, provided this week by Walkbox. And on Thursday, we've got something really exciting going on for the primary students. That's right, Spencer. The Kelowna Rockets are coming to visit on Thursday, and they're going to do some reading, answer some questions, and possibly, just maybe, hopefully, you never know, maybe even play a little hockey. That's so cool, boys and girls. Definitely keep an eye out for that on Thursday. And make sure you say big thank you to Miss Bishop for organizing that really cool event. Speaking of big events, before we talk about next week, we've got to address a few exciting things that have taken place over the last couple of weeks. Of course, Robyn. Kicking off the highlight reel, let's talk for a moment about the very first Leader in Me assembly, and of course, Remembrance Day. Great idea. Both of those assemblies were very different from their purpose to the audience expectations. But in both cases, Dynamos, you did so amazing. You sure did. It's so great to see our very own students taking on more and more of the leadership in these events, and it really just gives us the opportunity to experience so much more. So again, well done. Absolutely. Another great example of students taking control and showing off their leadership skills was at the Fall Forum that took place on November 6th. There, a select group of students got the opportunity to show off some neat and exciting things going on at our school. That's right, Robyn. Joined by other schools in our area, our Dynamos took time out of their evening to show trustees, superintendents, and the general public some pretty exciting stuff. And you can bet our Lowdown team was on location to catch a bit of the action. Let's take a look.
Hello and welcome to our school district annual Fall Forum. My name is Cami and I'm here on location at George Eliot Secondary School, where different schools from around the area are showing off just some of their unique learning opportunities that are taking place within their classroom. In fact, there are even a few presentations from our own school, including our very own Lowdown team. Come along with me as we check out some of the action.
That's some really cool stuff. Thank you again to Cami, Ben, and Lukas for your hard work in covering that event. Another thank you to the rest of the Dynamos that did a great job of representing our school that evening. We look forward to doing that event again next year. Okay, there's just one more tiny little event that we need to talk about before we move on, Robyn. I suppose we could mention it. Dynamos, do you remember that assembly that took place just last Friday? There was this super special guest. She shared a super amazing message about kindness. Oh, and she shared some super cool news about our very own school. Well, in case you forgot, Dynamos, last week Elsie Morden, a Canadian recording artist with a powerful message about kindness, came to visit our school. That's right, presented by Shaw. We were so very lucky to have her come and talk to our students about the importance of kindness, standing up against bullying, and really just saying, hey, I don't have time for that when someone isn't treating us the way we deserve. Let's take a quick look back at some highlights from that presentation.
I was so worried about what everyone else thought of me. I wanted to impress them. I wanted everyone to like me. I just wanted to fit in and be popular. I became this version of me that wasn't me. A few months ago, I was reached out to by Shaw Communications, and they were doing this super cool thing called Kindness Sticks. And what they were doing is recognizing some schools across Canada who were making a huge difference implementing kindness at their schools. And they asked me if I wanted to be a part of this and help choose some schools across Canada to win $5,000 to go towards the kindness program. There were 150 applications submitted, and I'm going to call up Courtney from Shaw right now because we're so excited to announce that your school, DRE, is one of the 10 lucky schools across Canada to win the Kindness Sticks grant to go to your LowDown program. You know, your LowDown TV show? That's super awesome.
Wow, that sure was a lot of fun. Couldn't agree more. We've also got to say a big congratulations to the grade 5s and the LowDown team on receiving that kindness grant. Absolutely, boys and girls. Only 10 schools in all of Canada were selected. That's a pretty big deal, so way to go. Now lastly, while we're still on the topic of Friday's presentation and the super cool Elsie Morden that shared her message, we've got one more surprise for you, Dynamos. Oh, we sure do. Now the LowDown has some pretty special guests, including students, teachers, principals, and even the Premier of British Columbia. But we've reached new levels of stardom as we've managed to get an exclusive interview, Elsie Morden. That's right, Spencer. On this edition of 5 Questions, one of our reporters sits down with Elsie to ask her a couple of questions. So without further delay, over to you, Ava.
Hello everyone, my name is Ava and welcome to this edition of 5 Questions. As you can see, this is a very special episode. We are incredibly excited and honored to have an opportunity to sit down with Elsie Morden. Elsie is a successful entrepreneur and a very talented Canadian recording artist as well as a kindness advocate. First of all, thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to sit down with us, and thank you for sharing your message with our school too.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here. This is so exciting. Thank you.
Very good. We have to begin with the obvious. You're a very talented artist. How long have you been interested in music? What's been your inspiration?
So the first time that I ever sang, I was actually 4 years old, and I stood up on the table at a Taco Time restaurant in Kelowna, British Columbia, and I just started singing Barney songs. I put on my own concert. That was the first time that I ever sang, and you know, I've always loved music, I've always loved singing, and growing up, because of some hard times that I went through, I actually didn't sing at all. I was so afraid to sing in front of people. And then when I got into grade 11, that's when I really started to use music and singing as my outlet from my hard times. And that's when I also realized that I wasn't gonna let anyone or anything stop me from doing what I wanted to do anymore. So I have been focusing on singing, music, and performing since I was 16. I'm 23 now.
That's very interesting. Now, today's presentation was part of your No Time for That tour. Can you speak to that a little? How did your tour come to be, and why is it important to spread this message?
Yeah, so also the inspiration of why I started singing so much and focusing on music is because I realized how powerful and relatable and how healing music was, and it made me feel so much better. And I realized that there are so many people out there who were feeling, you know, alone or hurt and misunderstood, like how I felt, because growing up I went through some bullying, and I also really struggled with mental illness, depression, and anxiety. And from my bullying and mental illness, I was able to turn to music, and it helped me. So that's kind of how the tour started and the charity, because I put together my stories and, you know, the songs that I had written about my experiences, and I started emailing schools, and I wanted to help and I wanted to make a difference and just let students know and youth know that they weren't alone, and that it does get better, and that it's just so important to focus on the positive and that you can get through anything.
How fantastic! Continuing with kindness, we can all agree on what it generally means to be kind, but true, meaningful kindness is often described slightly different by each person. How would you define kindness?
So for me personally, when I think of kindness, I just think about treating everyone equally and just accepting people for who they are, really accepting them and just doing it with no judgment and just treating everybody the same with kindness and how you want to be treated. It's very important.
How inspiring! Coming back to your music for a moment, we can understand that you write all of your own songs, and we've all had an opportunity to hear the finished product. But can you take us through a little of the songwriting process?
For sure. So because I write my own songs, it's all things that I've gone through, feelings I've had, experiences that I've had, and every song is different. Sometimes it starts with the lyrics, sometimes it starts with the melody, or just, you know, like a musical little like note thing that I have going on. It's so different all the time. Sometimes it takes me half an hour to write a song. Some songs I started over, 3 years ago, and I'm still working on them. So everyone's different. But it's a really, really cool process, and honestly, I'm just trying to tell stories and make a difference and help and inspire people with my music.
That's really interesting. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, Elsie, you're a successful entrepreneur, a gifted musician and songwriter, and you're also an advocate for kindness. This includes shopping at schools all over to share your No Time for That message as you shared with us today. What I'm getting at is that you're clearly very busy. So what do you do to sharpen the saw?
For me to take care of myself when, because I'm so busy, so it's really important to take care of myself in any of my spare time or my downtime. I find it very relaxing and healing to go outside and be with nature, exercising and eating healthy. I love smoothies. So I'm always trying new smoothies, making new smoothie recipes, and just reading and writing. It's very important to always, learn new things and educate yourself. So I'm always reading, I love reading, and just my life is music, so anything to do with music as well, listening to other music, writing new songs, trying out new genres, going to concerts, I love doing that. I love animals so much. I'm a huge animal person, and but I'm never too busy to be kind. Nobody's too busy to be kind, and you never know what someone's going through, so be kind always.
Fascinating. Thank you again for joining us on this incredibly special edition of 5 Questions. We will be doing our very best to continue spreading your message and the importance of kindness throughout our school. We here at Davidson Road Elementary wish you all the best in the future. My name is Ava. For the Lowdown, back to you at the news desk.
Dynamos, how awesome was that?
We've got to say another big thank you to Elsie Morden for taking the time to answer a couple of questions.
And thank you as well for sharing such an important, valuable message with our students. Lastly, before we go, boys and girls, just a quick reminder that next Tuesday is Davidson DYNAMO Day.
So remember to come dressed on November 27th in your school colors and bring $2 for popcorn.
In fact, let's listen to a message from our sponsors.
Pop, popcorn. Pop, 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 popcorn. Pop, 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 popcorn. Popcorn, popcorn, popcorn!
You know, I'm really hungry.
I know, I could really go for some popcorn.
Huh? Popcorn?
Popcorn, please.
Sure. $2. I have a great idea.
Popcorn, popcorn sale.
Support your grade 6s this Davidson DYNAMO Day and buy popcorn for $2.
Popcorn, popcorn!
Come on, over here, it worked. I could really go for some potato chips. Always fantastic.
Well, Dynamos, that's it for us on this edition of the Lowdown.
Don't forget, after this video, raise your hand and let your teacher know what you think the hidden object was and email that answer to Mr. Bonato.
Until next time, my name is Spencer.
And my name is Robyn. Have yourself the most incredible week.
And we'll see you very soon.